Now, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but I feel like this can actually be a productive conversation. Now, Mike Rowe, who is an American philanthropist and a TV host, came out and stated that 7 million men who are in their prime are not working right now, okay? This is another man saying that other men who are in their prime years are between 25 and 54, are not working in the United States, okay? And here are some of the statistics that back up what he's saying. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics actually reports that men between the ages of 25 and 54, about 57% of them are not working, citing physical, mental, and behavioral health issues, right? But there are 30% of men who admitted they're choosing not to work. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just choosing not to work, okay? 9% of them say that they're caring for other people. Now, on the flip side, right, the Bipartisan Policy Center survey reports that 52% of men actually would go out and look for work if they got better incentives, right? So we're talking better healthcare coverage, paid time off, better incentives for people with disabilities, things of that nature, right? Now, in the article, Rowe also points out he just feels like there's a shortage of trades. There's a shortage of trade work, which now makes the nation's labor force wildly outbalanced, which is why a lot of the men, they just can't find work because their skill sets does not match or fit in with today's workforce. Now, I'm not gonna lie, not gonna yai. I do feel like a lot of men have become lazy. I'm not speaking on all men. But 30% out of 52 that is not working, 30%, that's more than half, literally stated that they're choosing not to look for work. There's nothing wrong with them. They're fully able-bodied, mind-wise, they're capable. They're choosing not to work. So although I take in all of those other problems, all of those other issues, for that 30% right there, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? If the workforce is unbalanced and there's more women, who have money, they have the means, it's not the women's fault. There's 30% of you men who are in their prime choosing not to go to work, choosing not to work. And then when women say that they are the new men, that men are the new ladies, generally speaking, because again, we're not going to include every single man. You guys, for some reason, don't understand the general part and get offended. All of you get offended. But it's right here in the statistics. 30% of you men who are in your prime are choosing not to work out of the 52% that just are not working. Fix it.
The job market right now is so trash that you might as well just stay at that shitty job that you hate until you get like another job locked in. So up until last week, I was unemployed for about 2 months. And the first month, I pretty much just chilled, treated it like a vacation. But by the second month, that's when I started applying to places. And I applied to about 10, 15 different places. And out of those 15 places, I heard back from maybe only 1 or 2 places. The rest, I didn't get no call, no emails, nothing. And when I had a job, I would see people come on here all the time talking about how the job market's shitty, that it sucks. And I really thought they were just talking. I didn't think it was true until I actually was unemployed and was looking for jobs. That it hit me. It was like, damn, bro, they really ain't lying. The job market really fucking sucks right now.
So I was perusing the internet and I came across something. And after reading this article, I said to myself that most of these men put down the job applications and picked up the podcast mic. Case in point, according to the Federal Reserve of Boston, men ages 25 to 54, 1 in 9 are not in the workforce. Compared to 1950, it was 1 in 50. Article after article has detailed why so many men have left the workforce, and simply put, men have given up. Are underskilled, underpaid, and frustrated. Quite frankly, the men have just said, screw it, I give up, and left the workforce. This in turn creates an environment where the men are running around here sexually frustrated because women today are demanding more. You just can't have a great personality and no job, or vice versa. Women want it all, which is their right. But what you don't see in mass is men going to get trade, skills, and degrees. These men spent countless years shaming women for having degrees, and look what's happening to them with no degrees and no skills. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun. Instead of men spending hours and hours on TikTok arguing and shaming women for wanting more, men need to put down these podcast mics, these YouTube channels, and these red pill pages and pick up some job applications, some Udemy courses, and some advanced degrees. How can a woman submit, follow, and cooperate with you and you've just given up on your job? Just walking out the job force in droves. And the ones that do have aspirations to be influencers and content creators, one, you don't have the charisma or the game or the knowledge to do so. You just got a lot of hate and unhealed trauma. And two, y'all don't have enough sense to even monetize it. Go get an LLC and make it a legit business. Y'all just on here venting something you should be doing with your therapist. So again, y'all put down the Rodecaster Pro and pick up a Udemy course on cybersecurity, or take a trade in truck driving, HVAC, be an electrician, a bricklayer, a mason, something, a carpenter, because this simply is not going to work for the collective. The women have told y'all already, so govern yourselves accordingly.
So we started off talking about how men are choosing just not to work at all rather than work a dead-end job because they feel like that affects their social status. And in the first part of this, we talked a lot about how this impacts the dating market. But in this part, we're going to continue about what this has to do with the huge shift going on in the workforce that a lot of businesses aren't addressing or even thinking about. So like I said in the first video, the appeal to college has really declined in recent years because, people are graduating, not finding jobs, et cetera, et cetera. But also the appeal of working in general has declined, which is really what we need to get into. This is one of the very few, if not only, articles I've seen that really accurately pinpoints what the issue is in the workforce right now. There is very little incentive to work if you cannot foresee any rewards of the work. A lot of businesses are basically going to ignore the reason why people don't want to work until they have no choice because it's bad. Gen Z is a very loud, a very publicly facing group. So when Gen Z is saying, I don't agree with this and I'm not going to do that, even older people are looking and seeing that, and it's influencing how the entire workforce thinks about work. Businesses are trying their hardest to stick it out and say, oh, well, eventually they'll need money, so they'll come and work and take whatever conditions we want. But Gen Z in particular is so young that they don't really have to work because a lot of Gen Z is still on their parents' payroll. Their parents are also concerned about the state of the world, especially the state of the economy right now. So they're keeping Gen Z on their payroll, essentially, paying their bills or letting them stay at home for much longer anyway. So to bring it back to the original point, yes, these men are bums for staying at home instead of working at all. However, we are going to see a shift of more people opting out of working because they don't see any benefits coming from it. Let me know what you guys think about this.
Hey TikTok, it's been a little while since I've came up here with any type of job update. If you don't know, I have been unemployed since October of 2024. It is now pretty much March of 2025. So I'm going on about my 5th month being unemployed, and I've probably put out well over 300, almost close, I would say between 250 to 300 applications in this time span. Anyway, I say all this to say that I recently interviewed for a position. This was 3 weeks ago now. And the lady was telling me I did the initial interview with her. It went really well. She said she's going to follow up her team and get back with me for the second interview. So a week passes. I didn't hear anything back. I was dealing with the death of my family, so I didn't really think too much of it. But she ended up getting back to me saying that she was out all week for the flu and that she would get back to me on scheduling my second interview. So that was last week. We're in a new week. I reached out to her yesterday, and today she finally got back to me today saying, oh, I'm so sorry. I know this isn't what you want to hear, but due to the high volume, blah, 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 we've gone with someone else. So I'll say all this to say that the job market right now is just based off luck. Like, I can't even be mad anymore at anything. Oh, people are fake hiring or the fake job posts. It's like, it really is just luck. Like, maybe you're lucky enough to know someone in the right place. Maybe you're lucky enough to have applied in a certain time frame for them to see your application first. Maybe you're lucky to be that internal candidate who, gets prioritized over the position. But I can no longer beat myself up or be in my head about it because I will legit go crazy. I'm in the running right now that one's off the list, for still 3 other positions. And one of them has been in play for 3 weeks now. It's like, what's going on? So if you're like me and you're in the job market and you're feeling really discouraged and you're feeling like this is a constant, never-ending loop of just disappointment, I feel you. I'm with you. We will get through this together. Our luck will strike at some point, but don't beat yourself up about it, because odds are it has nothing to do with you.
Cool, go to McDonald's.
Why would I want to go work at McDonald's? Sure, $15 an hour.
Money?
Yeah, but I am not working 7 days a week
Yes, you
while I
are.
am in school.
Yes, you are.
I'm going to fail school. That's going to be more student loan money that I'm going to have
But
to
you
do.
said you did school Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You did not say Saturday and Sunday.
I do school Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You did not say Saturday, Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday. Okay, like maybe I could pick up a second job.
Yes, that's what I just said. That's literally what I just
that's
said.
what-
Why are you not
over
working
the-
on Saturdays and Sundays?
Because I'm lazy. That's my time to recuperate from the week.
Great.
Could I have done
You married
better?
a lazy man.
Could I
who's
have
not
done-
willing to keep the roof over
Could
your
I
head.
have done
How
better?
does that feel?
She has a roof over her head, actually.
For now. Keep going $1,000 in the negative every single month. We'll see how long that lasts. You married a lazy man. How does that feel?
I don't think he's lazy.
Really?
I think he's okay.
He's not willing to work Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, I think he should take a break as well.
You don't want the bills paid.
He does pay the bills, but I think
You are under by $1,000 and debt is going up, and we're at the $70,000 since you went unemployed. What are we talking about? You're going further in debt. That's not paying the bills. Do we know what paying the bills are? I'm a little concerned that both of you do not know what paying the bills are.
Since men aren't guaranteed a stay-at-home wife, a chef, a nanny, a nurse, a doctor, they're opting out of the workforce. They're opting out of doing anything for women because they aren't guaranteed anything. They don't see the value in women having their own money and having their own security. They want to take us back to a time when women couldn't work. That's the only way they feel that women deserve anything. Well, since you're a doctor, since you're a nurse, since you're a lawyer, since you have a good paying job, since you can make any amount of money, why should I help you? That is insane to me. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And the crazy thing is the men are just like, yeah, well, what are you going to do? I can't. I truly can't. The amount of people that say to me, well, since you're a quote unquote blah, 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 shouldn't you make more money than me? So what does that mean? I don't deserve a man? Or you're not a man? I mean, just saying that tells me that you're not a man. But what's up with the cognitive dissonance that a woman needs to be flat broke, poor, and need them for every single thing that makes them feel like, what is it? What's going on out here? Because I am so truly confused. I am at an like, they want slaves. I was watching this little podcast of this lady. She talks about all the things that happened. She said barefoot and pregnant. That's how they wanted their women. Barefoot and pregnant. Barefoot in the winter and pregnant during the summer. Barefoot in the winter so they can't leave, and pregnant in the summer so they can't fucking leave. Why? What is up with that? Why do you need that? I mean, but that's cool. It's cool. Because at the end of the day, I mean, y'all gonna do it to yourselves. And you know, because nobody wants that, you know. And it's like the only way they can support you, the only way they can give you anything is if you're a complete wife slave. They don't even want you having a vehicle. A vehicle is a threat. A job is a threat. A career is a threat. Having to the ability